Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, thanks for watching, this time with another Schwarzbier from Czech Republic. This is a quite unique moment because it's not often while I review a beer from Czech Republic, it's mainly German beers. However, this time it's time for a beer from Czech Republic brewed by Litovel brewery, and I've reviewed Litovel Premium before. So this is another brand from the Litovel brewery. And it's imported to Germany by GHG Getränkehandels GmbH in Dresden. This brand, Sankt Jaro, is having three different beers. It's a Vollbier, it's an Urtyp, and it's a Schwarzbier. And this one is the Schwarzbier, since it was the only one that I found in Germany. And it looks like this. Quite good looking label, actually. To be honest, very good looking label, in my opinion. Sankt Jaro Schwarzbier. It's only got 4.0% alcohol content ABV, which is quite low. And another, how should I say, bad thing is that the ingredient list is not really something that makes me very interested. It's got some strange things, just like the Neuzeller Abend from Neuzeller Klosterbrauerei. Their Schwarzer Abend did have sugar and fructose, glucose syrup and things like that, if I remember correctly, and that didn't taste nice at all, in my opinion. Very sweet and bad taste on that one, in my opinion. And so my expectations regarding this one is very low, but I want to review it anyway, since it's quite unique with, for me, with Schwarzbier from Czech Republic. It's mainly only Czech style pils from Czech Republic. Anyway, I found it and it's quite interesting. Also, it looks nice. I mean, the bottle is looking nice, no doubt about that. Here's the cap also, Sankt Jaro Schwarzbier. And I think it's gonna be an interesting moment to try it, and I can't promise that I'm gonna like it. So my expectations are lower than normal. I'm gonna speak a little bit about the information that I found on the Sankt Jaro website, which I will link to in the description box below, of course. Brewing process: grinding. The finished malt is crushed into small pieces. Mashing. The malt grist is mixed with water. Refining. The mash is filtered and the spent grain is separated from the wort. Wort boiling. The wort is cooked with the addition of the hops. Hops are added during wort boiling. Wort clarification. Separated protein tannin compounds and undissolved hop residues are filtered out of the wort. Wort cooling. After boiling, the wort is cooled down. Fermentation takes place with the addition of yeast. Maturation. Young beer matures into beer. Packing. Role and function. Beer packing. Protective function. The beer should be protected from external influences, for example, light, impurities, animal pests, microorganisms, and before loss of aromas. Storage function. The beer is stored or rearranged several times after the production until it is consumed. Transport function. The beer should not be excessively affected by influences such as pressure, shock, or light. Creativity and design. Creativity means breaking out of the compulsive rules, letting your imagination guide you in order to achieve amazing symphonies. And about the raw materials, it's possible to read the following on the website. Brewing water. It is often overlooked that depending on its strength, beer consists of at least 80% water. The influence of these ingredients on the finished beer is correspondingly large. Every beer has its own brewing water. The chemical and biological properties of the water play an important role in beer production. The quality of the optimal brewing water depends on which beer it is to be brewed. For example, residual alkalinity between -2 and +2 degrees DH should be sought for Pilsner beers. Helles 5 degrees DH and pale beers for pale beers, and 10 degrees DH for dark beers. Malting barley, the soul of beer. Quality characteristics: nitrogen content in the grain, optimal nitrogen content 1.55 to 1.85%, moisture content not more than 14%, low protein content 9.5 to 11.5% in the grain. Higher protein means less starch, i.e. less malt extract. Malt, the body of every beer. Properties relevant to brewing. Color indicates how much light wort produced according to the standardized methods absorbs from this malt. Unit is EBC, the range of values between 2, very pale Pilsner malt, and approximately 1500 intensely roasted color malt. Protein content. This value determines later cloudiness, foaming behavior, and content of the fermentable sugars. Because of the more protein in the grain, the less saccharifiable starch. Hops, the salt in the beer soup. Although it can be brewed without it, its numerous ingredients and functions make it normally indispensable ingredient for every brew. The tannins and acids contained in the hops ensure that certain substances flocculate. The wort becomes cleaner and foam formation is promoted. The essential oils and resins contained in the hops serve almost any taste preference, with fruity, grassy, buttery, earthy, citrus-like, and many other notes. Yeast, hardly visible but indispensable. In most cases you hardly want to taste, see, or smell them, and yet it is it that decides to a considerable extent about the properties of the beer to be, about its alcohol content as well as its residual sweetness, about higher fusel alcohols and fermentation by products such as notes or sulfur, spices or fruit. Without a carefully selected and in top condition added yeast, the boldest brewing project becomes nothing. And about this specific one, the Sankt Jaro Schwarzbier, with this, in my opinion, great looking label, to be honest. It's possible to read the following on the website. Sankt Jaro Schwarzbier, a lovely, soft, full beer with a rich dark brown color and beautiful beige, fine poured head. The malty coffee-like smell with a distinct roasted aromas arouses many expectations, all of which are fulfilled. After a hint of the chocolate with caramel notes, a slight sweetness only comes in the finish and skillfully prepares the next sip. And it's possible also to read some more information about this specific one on the GHG Getränkehandels GmbH website. Sankt Jaro Schwarzbier, the legendary top-class beer with its typical dark color, fantastically tasty, and with a full-bodied and fresh character for a tangy and elegant taste experience. Traditionally brewed according to a historical recipe and classic Bohemian brewing, and used refined barley malt. Ingredients: brewing water from our own well barley malt, Sass hops, hop extract. Original wort, 11.9 degrees, Plato 4.0% alcohol content, black brown color, cream colored resistant foam, 23 bitter units, malty sweetness, light roasted malts. Okay. Here on the label, though, it says that the ingredients list is quite longer, unfortunately, so that might be the case. Starting off with a beer. Finest beers. Original Czech beer. Sankt Jaro imported beer. Sankt Jaro Czerny Lezak. Czerny Lezak means, of course, dark lager. You know that Svedli Lezak means the normal premium pale lager. But here it says Czerny Lezak, and here's the coat of arms also, beautiful coat of arms. Schwarzbier, traditional recipe, the famous original Czech beer. Back label looks like this. Sankt Jaro imported beer, Schwarzbier, dunkles Lagerbier, Zutaten Wasser, Gerstenmalze, Glucose, Fructose, Sirup, Zucker, Hopfenextract. So, far away from the purity law. Not something that I appreciate. Pasteurized, in Schuttatmosphäre verpackt, vor direktem Sonnenlicht und Frost schützen, Durchschnittel Brännwert Pro 100 ml, 175 kg, 42 kcl. Hersteller Piperware Lituel in Czech Republic. GHG Getrankehandels GmbH Kampen GmbH GHG WebDE. Alcohol content 4.0. So I'm, to be honest, not very happy about the Schwarzbiers with very low alcohol content and with many other ingredients except of the purity law. I just think about the Neuzeller Abt, Schwarzer Abt from Neuzeller Klosterbrauerei, which was of all the beers on my channel, the one that I did not like that much because how sweet it was in the taste. Definitely not something for me. So let's try this one anyway and find out if this one is better. The Sankt Jaro Schwarzbier. It can't be worse than the Schwarzer Abt, I believe. But let's try it anyway, of course, and give it a chance. There we have it. The Sankt Jaro Schwarzbier. Looking quite nice with its foamed, thick, dunkel, two-finger foamed, amber, very dark in color. Let's get the aroma. I really hope that it's not as sweet as the Schwarzer Abt from Neuzeller that also was a Schwarzbier that did not follow the purity law. That's what it's all about to me. It has to be followed. This is strange. This is not. This is having some different tasting elements that I'm not used to. How should I describe it? Of course, there's some sweetness coming from the sugar, the fructose glucose syrup. Not really good. But let's taste it anyway. I don't know if I'm gonna drink up everything. I don't know if I'm gonna have the possibility to do that if it tastes the way that I expect it to do. But Sankt Jaro Schwarzbier, Prost! Oh, this is. No, I can't drink more than this. To be honest, this is really bad in my opinion. Tastes very sweet in the aftertaste. Definitely not good in my opinion. It's not a recommendation. Coffee, chocolate, dark roasted malt is coming a little bit afterwards, but it's mostly sweet and definitely not a recommendation. It's very bad in taste, in my opinion. Then there might be people who appreciate it. I think that there is people who appreciate it because otherwise it wouldn't be sold. But in my opinion, to my tastes, it's really bad. A beer should not taste like this, definitely not in my opinion. I am open about the other two beer styles that they're brewing, the Urtyp and the Vollbier. Unfortunately, this was the only one from this brand that I found. If I did see the other two ones, I would buy them instead of this one at that shop, but this was the one that I found from Sankt Jaro, their Schwarzbier, and I gave it a try, but I don't know if I should have been doing it because it was really bad in the taste. Or bad might not be the right word, but it wasn't something that I appreciated. But yeah, I think that's it for now. While it's a beer that I don't like, I'm not drinking up everything. So that's the explanation regarding why it's so much left. I did try it, but it was not good, so I'm not gonna waste anything while drinking up the rest. So with that said, hope you like my reviews anyway, even though it's sometimes bad beers I'm reviewing. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you continue to follow my channel for more interesting, mainly German beer reviews. And I hope I see you again in next German beer review.